York City Mayor Eric Adams announced he was suspending his campaign for re-election, saying his ability to raise money for his campaign was undermined by forces in New York. Also in New York, Russell Henley's ball suspended its campaign for the hole, saying its ability to get into the hole was undermined by Russell Henley. Welcome to the Moonstam Cast. I'm Jordan. This is the We Are European Now. To my thank you, Mr. McElroy. May I have another? Brian. Brian, how are you?
Good. It was Ryder Cup. We'll start there. We got our ass kicked in the first 2 days, but it was electric watching us almost come back.
The Sunday rocked. I'll just say it now because it's past. If Ludwig hadn't dropped out, I think we would have had more of a shot. That's my only thought, because they got a half a point from that, and so did we. But they got the half a point from that.
Correct, and people were complaining about that. But in 1991, that's what helped us win. Is the same exact situation. So,
hey, if I wasn't born yet, it doesn't count. Okay, if it was 34 years ago, it doesn't count. Europe has to take that. They have to live with that. With that said, tie. And another thing for the first 2 days, it wasn't. I mean, I think it was 11.5 to 4.5 before the dropout, and then it was 12-5 after the dropout. Which, if you need 14.5 points, that's like saying, "Oh, I just need like 2 guys to do well, maybe 3. I need 3 guys to do moderately well." The fact that America came this close to winning, I think the final score was 15-13, is actually insane to me. That just shows I'm forming a theory in my mind, and I don't know if it's correct. And I want to see, we'll have to do more experiments on it. If the U.S. plays football in a European country on the day that they're playing the Ryder Cup, does the U.S. do better? Now, I have no clue if this is ever.
Jesus, I have no idea.
I don't know. I would have to go. I need to go back and look at that because I didn't do that myself. But I have a theory, because the Vikings and the Steelers played in Ireland. I think it was a Cork Stadium, I think it's called. Because I know Cork County. And I'm trying to think, if we infiltrate their homeland, do we gain their powers for the first 2 days? And that's my theory. It's a game theory. We'll try again in 2 years. I will have to look back at the 2023 version to see, hey, did this happen?
Well, 23 we played in Europe.
Yeah. So I maybe have to look at did we play? We played in 21. 2020 to 2021 COVID is all blur to me. I don't know what happened at that point. So I'll have to go back and look, because I'll have to see. But that's my theory right now, is if we can play football in Europe while they're playing the Ryder Cup, we will do better. And so Roger Goodell, just say, I'm going to schedule a game Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Screw college football. Actually, the NCAA
college football over there.
They
normally do a game in Dublin.
Yeah, send Farmageddon back over there. That was a fun game for them to see. So send Farmageddon back over there, along with the poor Vikings. By the way, they play in Ireland and then England next week. So I don't know what they did to Roger
over there already. That's at least they're getting them both out of the way.
Just do the Steelers Vikings too. Just make it so that they have to play. Actually, this is now another thing. Yeah, I think it's the Browns. Poor England. By the way,
we'll get to that on Friday's show.
Yeah, but with that said, I think they should just do a divisional rival, just have them play the 2 weeks and then have them come back, and see who wins. But yeah, the Ryder Cup, super not chill, guys. That was not chill of you. I needed some American jingoistic language to hold on to, and then Rory McIlroy. By the way, while we're on the Ryder Cup, a fork found in kitchen. Long Island fans are scumbags. Who could have guessed that one was coming? They berating Royal McIlroy's wife and throwing things at her. A fork found in kitchen, fellas. There are a couple places in America.
Fork found in kitchen.
Yeah, there are a couple places in America where you're like, oh, that makes sense. Long Island and Philadelphia. Both those places, I'm like, yeah, if they assault someone, I'm like, yeah, that's almost their fault for going there. It's like when I think it was Maple Leafs fans went to a Philadelphia Flyers game and got pelted with things. But yeah, fork found in kitchen. Like we're
Shouldn't happen.
It shouldn't happen, but
what were your expectations?
It's the most likely outcome for those places when it comes to sports or just really anything they do whatsoever. So when everyone's like, wow, I can't believe that's reflects on America. It's like, those are Yankees fans. So, or Mets fans. I don't know which one. If they're Mets fans, they're sad. If they're Yankees fans, they're just, scumbags in general. So I don't really know who they are, but yeah, fork found in kitchen. Who would have thought that? But with all that said, I actually have one more take on the Ryder Cup. I have a lot of takes on the Ryder Cup. So in the Mesoamerican tradition, there's a game, I want to say this correctly, called Oyama, something like that. It's the hip ball. And I've been told by the time I went to Mexico and when I was a child and to my uncle's wedding, that they would sacrifice, I think, the winners of that game. It was a great honor. I think we need to bring that back for the Ryder Cup, but make it a little different. If you play for America on the Ryder Cup, and we're kind of going North Korea on this one. If you play for America, if you lose, you get yourself denaturalized. You're going somewhere else. If you lose, listen, if it's 15-13, I think I can take that. I can take it. It was close. Because you look at the stars of the European team versus the stars of the American team, and the European team it just looks better on paper, even though they're not as ranked as high. But if it's the day 1 and 2, someone's got to be denaturalized. We got to deport somebody from that team. Someone has to take the fall for what happened those first 2 days. I don't know if it's
paired with Scheffler on the first round, the first day of the alternate shot.
Yeah,
shoot him into the moon.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'll take.
Son.
Listen, they can even vote amongst themselves. We can go full total democracy. Vote amongst yourselves. It's Survivor style. The one with the most votes he gets kicked off the island of America. We send him to I don't know. We send him to Kosovo. Actually, they like Americans in Kosovo. Send him to Barcelona, where they don't like tourists whatsoever, and he has to go live in Barcelona for a year. So I think we take the style of that game. Was it Oyama, and make it a little bit. Stakes need to be higher if you're competing for America. I also think that should be true in the Olympics too, but that's a whole other discussion for another day.
So your idea of voting for them, who they should kill, there's actually in Fallout New Vegas in Vault 11. That's what I was just looking up to confirm. There's all these vaults are like nuclear shelters, real quick, and they go in there, but Vault-Tec is a sadistic organization that decided we're just going to do social experiments and different experiments on a bunch of different things while offering shelter. And that Vault 11's social experiment was you're going to vote on your overseer, who's the mayor of the vault, and at the end of their term they die. And so at the very end, when you go explore it there, the vault's already open, so that means because it's 200 years later, and you find an audio log. And there's 5 people left, and they're like, no, computer, because if they don't vote for someone, the computer says they're just going to shut off all life support, and they're like, no, computer, when there's only 5 people left, we're not going to play your game. You're going to have to kill all of us. And then the computer's like, congratulations, you did it. We've proven that humanity can come. We'll rather keep their humanity rather than become savages. And then they're like, so we were just killing people. Voting to kill people for no reason, and the computer's just like, I don't have any more answers for you, and shuts down, and then the door opens, and they all proceed to kill themselves because they're like, oh, okay, we're just bad people. And I'm just staring at my controller like, what a fucking audio log. Anyways, that's the video game reference of the week.
Well, Scotty Scheffler, thank you for your service. You will not be killed. You are the mayor of the Ryder Cup. But all that said, I love the Ryder Cup, and it fucking rocks. I can't wait for 2027.
I do think it's also perfect that it's every 2 years. I think every year it would not have the same magic.
I'd be willing to say every 4 years even. But I don't know if I want to take that much. I know. It's like the Winter Olympics, or sorry, the Summer Olympics, Winter Olympics. It's like the Summer Olympics. We're like, oh, okay, it's really, but it's not like by day 20 of the Olympics, you're like, I don't really give a shit about sprinting. I want to, but I just can't at this point. Whereas with the Ryder Cup, you're like, oh no, it's 3 days every 2 years. I think that's a perfect time. So yeah, I think 2 years is the perfect timeline. Brian, do you want to move on to college football? Because I have a question for you.
Sure. Let's do college football.
Are we stupid? Because 2 weeks ago we did our college SEC rankings. I think it was we had LSU, Georgia, and A&M. And then LSU loses to Ole Miss, Georgia loses to Alabama, and they look defensively flawed. And my question is, are we stupid or do we just not know SEC ball? Because I don't know what's happening right now.
I think this year I think you're still right. You said this college football season was going to have chaos, and chaos is here, baby. We got teams losing left and right. We have I think they're number 6. What's Penn State?
I think they're 6 now. I checked last night. I think they're 6 right now. Maybe
they don't
higher.
have a win against an FBS school. They're ranked 6 and they do not have a win against an FBS school this year.
That's okay. So I have a bone to pick about this as well. Right now, UH. Now we'll get to UH in a second because I have thoughts on UH. By the way, Penn State's 7, not 6.
Okay.
It's 4-0. I did not receive one vote in the AP poll. Not one vote in the AP poll. Fucking North Texas got, I think, 6 votes in the AP poll, and they've also played nobody. And other than Army, but
I would like to quickly dispute you on something about U of H. They played Oregon State, which I think actually is worth negative towards the AP poll voting.
Yeah, Brian, I have thoughts on that. We can just get in that game then. So there are many fans I see after this game going, "Oh yeah, I can't wait for Tech. Tech's gonna be a great game. Why are they going to watch Alabama versus Vanderbilt?" And I say, "Hey, Texas Tech, would you like to take like a half draw?" As I don't want to play Texas Tech after that performance. The final score of the game does not really show what the game was. I think it was up until 6 minutes left in the game. It was still 24-10, and UH scored 2 touchdowns within that time. Now, Connor Wegman, when he turns it on, he turns it on. I am loving Connor Wegman deep balls. The problem is Connor Wegman does not throw as many deep balls as he should, or he just doesn't get the fucking chance to. 6 minutes left, 24-24. The only reason UH won that game, and I will say this with love, is because special teams blocked a field goal. And that rocks. I love when special teams, I also have a theory that special teams has gotten better in the past 10 years. It's not really a theory, just a thought. Because people have started to invest in special teams and say, oh, that's an actual branch of football that we have to do better in. It's not just oh yeah, we'll just put our shitty offensive players or defensive players on that. It's no, we put players on there who are specialized in that. Or we have a coach who really knows what they're doing. Awesome. It took you to overtime to beat. It's a school without a conference. It's not like Notre Dame that does not, choose not to be in a conference. No, that's not fine. It's their conference no longer exists. They were left out of every single other. The fucking American Athletic Association didn't try to pick them up, and they pick up literally everyone's scraps. So the fact that we went to Corvallis, and I mean, inch of our life got out of there. And I would like to point out Salazar, the kicker, after the field goal, looks towards the Oregon bench and fucking starts mowing them down. And I go, all right, I'm on board with this guy. He gets it. Yeah. Was it one of the worst teams in all of FBS? Yes. Do you still get to mow them down after you win in overtime? Of course you do.
But you have a win over an FBS school, unlike State Penn.
Yeah, I know, and that's the thing. I understand Oregon is way better than Oregon State in every respect, and it was a closer loss. But I feel like the final score doesn't actually reflect what the game looked like, even though the game sucked. I'm gonna say that the game sucked. It was not a fun game. It wasn't like the defense was just killing them. It's oh no, both sides just can't fucking get offense going. The fact that Penn State is still 7, and then you have and again, I don't mean to be rude to North Texas, but I'm looking at North Texas has 7 fucking votes, and I looked up who they played, and they barely make it past an FCS school. So I don't know what's going on here. Now it may be because I think did BYU get any votes? Yes, BYU got votes, and they're in 23rd. And so maybe it's a cougar thing where you can only have one cougar at a time, which is, by the way, not true. You can have many cougars at a time. You know what I'm saying, brother? I don't know why I made that joke.
I don't know what you're saying, brother.
Yeah, I don't know either. Well, actually, I'll come back later when I talk about the Savannah Bananas real quickly. But yeah, no, I am very upset that UH listen, I don't think we deserve top 25 for the record. I don't. But one vote would be nice, right? It's it's the thought that counts. It's nice to be nominated. And it's we're not even getting nominated. Now, again, our show, It's on TBS. It's not that great. It's kind of a comedy, kind of a drama. We don't really know what it is, but we'd like to be nominated for an Emmy, kind of. It's nice to be nominated. That's all I'm going to say. At the same time, hey, Tech, if you guys would be chill, not beat us by too much, that'd be super cool. That'd be super chill of you. Love that. So that's my thoughts on the UH game.
We'll transition over to my stuff. I don't think it's a debate anymore. I think Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price are the best running back duo. Now, it was going into this weekend, they were talking about how the Penn State guys were up there. And now, Oregon is a way better team than Arkansas. But in the past 2 games, Jadarian Price and Jeremiah Love have 12 total touchdowns combined. That's insane. And they look so good doing it. I'm so angry, Jordan, that we have an offense now because for the past 3 years, we've had a top 5 defense, top 10 defense. And if you put this offense with those defenses, I almost threw my pen. We win the national championship last year. We win the national championship with this offense and that defense. It's Riley Leonard. He haunts.
It is. It's the worst feeling in the world when you knew you were this close and you can see the vision finally. Notre Dame's offense looks great. And again, you're not playing the top 5 teams in the nation every week. At the same time, I don't think that matters as much. I think you can kind of see what you're looking at. It's like me with UH where I'm like, sure, they played like an FCS school, but like I can see that they're only okay. I think you can see they're good. At the same time, I can imagine the pain of being like, there's just a little bit of regret there that you didn't have this offense. All you had to do was have a couple guys on offense who were a little bit better and you're national champion after all those years as well.
That's the thing. The quarterback that we have is a redshirt freshman. So he was on the roster. Mm-hmm. So, and now starting a true freshman is horrifying, and maybe Ohio State eats him up and destroys his confidence, and we get run out of the building. Mm-hmm. It's not a guaranteed win. I'm just saying that it could have looked better than what we did in the national championship, and we beat Arkansas so bad we got a man fired. And then earlier today they released they voided his contract. What's his name? Sam Pittman. Uh-huh. Sam Pittman no longer is employed by Arkansas. And then I think today they released the offensive line coach, the defensive coordinator, and I think a linebackers coach. They are cleaning shop.
No, that's because our favorite motorcycle enthusiast is back in the team. Bobby Petrino back from the dead. It's 2008 again, boys. 2009 again. There's hope and change in Arkansas football. There's about to be some scandals coming down the pipe. So yeah, that's it has to feel like if you're an opposing player or coach, it has to be one of the best feelings in the world to beat up an opponent so badly they just fire their coach and like start cleaning house and they go, okay, next season we're gonna try again.
No, if that's true.
I mean, I feel like it has to be like, oh, we beat the shit out of them. That's a good one right there. Like, listen, you don't really want anyone to lose their job, but at the same time, like, there's a little bit different between complaining about like a fast food worker and getting them fired versus like a coach who's making millions a year. Now, the O-line coach probably is not making millions a year. At the same time, getting Sam Pittman fired. I don't know what his contract is. It's probably not Brian Kelly's, but it's not like mine at work. He's not making a base salary. It's like, oh, he's making millions of dollars. So like you have to feel, and he's going to get an OC job somewhere. Again, the best job to ever have, the best thing you can ever do is be a kind of okay head coach. You'll get as many head coach coaching jobs as you want. Go be an OC or DC somewhere else. So I don't feel as badly. Now the O-line coach, yes, but like it has to be a good feeling if you're like, we beat the shit out of them to where they fired that. There's organizational change happening because of our game. So that has to, I don't know, maybe that has to feel good. Someone sound off in the comments if you know otherwise.
And my last college football note is USC loss. Normal celebration over here because haha, fuck USC. But they're the best team we're going to play for the rest of the year. And we kind of needed them to be undefeated to beat them to give us a better chance at making the playoffs. Uh-oh.
Ruh-roh boys. Well, A&M looks good, which is
I
helpful.
mean,
to
A&M
you.
and Miami win out. If they go
Yeah.
undefeated and win their conferences, then it's like, okay, we lost to the ACC champion by 3, and we lost to the SEC champion by 1. So maybe, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to be in the playoffs, obviously, but there's going to be a discourse, and everyone's going to hate it that Notre Dame went. If we run the table, go 10-2, sneak into the playoff because of media bias. But if those two teams win their conferences, it's like, well, we only lost to them by a combined total of 4 points. I don't know.
It's gotta hurt. I mean, the thing is, like, I think Miami's ranked 3rd and A&M's ranked 6th right now, which is a good look. At the same time, you imagine there's gonna be other 2 lost teams from like bigger conference or bigger in a conference and a big conference in general, who there's start to be like, I don't want to talk about Alabama, but I'm going to talk about Alabama real quickly. Imagine Alabama is only a 2 loss team and they make it, and they're on the cusp. Do you go like, oh fuck, like, okay, maybe they go in over Notre Dame because they face bigger competition. Or like you look at an ACC school, even though the ACC is maybe not as good. I don't know. It's week 5. I do not know what whatever it's going to look like. It could be a vastly different. Like you could have USC could get really good. A&M and Miami could be the top 2 in the nation, and you'd be like, oh, that makes sense. I have a couple more college football notes.
Okay.
One of which is a take, kind of. Actually, so just do this for Georgia, Tennessee, or Georgia, Alabama. Kalen DeBoer, I apologized. Last week, I released a video saying that you should run for a fake Senate job so that you didn't have to be an Alabama football coach anymore. Turns out I'm wrong. Do I think Georgia looks as good as they've been? No, I do not. I think their offense is really struggling. They cannot convert on a 3rd down to save their life. I don't know if that's maybe the Alabama defense, but I really just think that's the Georgia offense.
Do you think they miss Carson Beck?
That's a crazy thing to say, but you're correct. Because at the beginning of the season, I've been said, no, that's never a thought I would ever have, that you miss Carson Beck. With that said, watching him play in Miami versus watching him play in Georgia, I don't know if there's like different factors. I don't know if he's like having a great time in Miami and loves his life and prefers it over Georgia. At the same, you're thinking the same thing I was thinking. At the same time, yeah, like you have to, right? Like you may even miss Stetson Bennett at this point. Like Stetson Bennett was obviously,
he's
bring
a
him
national
back.
Championship winner.
Yeah, Well, he
might be insane, but
he also wasn't like the driving force behind that team. He was a good quarterback, but he wasn't a great quarterback. I don't know. Maybe he can quit his insurance sales job, which I imagine he has, and come back. But they couldn't do anything on 3rd down. My apologies to Kalen DeBoer. My next thing on that 4th and 1, they did a hurry up offense, no huddle, and they got stopped. And one of the reasons is because there was I did not look at the number. I imagine he's a linebacker who was an edge rusher who just wasn't blocked at all. And so I understand why they were doing it, but there were 28 seconds left on the clock. They were just trying to confuse the defense. Turns out you didn't confuse the defense at all. You actually helped the defense as you seemed confused at the same time. My take is that was the dumbest no huddle I think I've seen in a while. It was not a helpful no huddle. It did not make really any sense in the moment. I think that the way that they were playing, it was a 4th and 1. They kept getting stopped on 3rd down. They were not playing to their best offensive ability. You got to scheme a play call there because the O-line did not look that great either. The O-line left through 2 guys. One guy was just not even blocked. The other guy got through where the crowd was in the middle right there. I think that was a really dumb call, and I think that cost Georgia the game. On top of the Georgia just not playing as well as they could have. At the same time, I don't think Alabama is like this amazing team either. They looked better, but I think Georgia's not as good as they are not the Georgia we know. That was my thing for that. Oregon, Penn State, real quickly. I would take, and this probably won't be a clip because we'll get killed. Is the whiteout the most overrated night in all of college sports?
No. Whiteout's cool. I hate State Penn. Whiteout's cool.
I think the whiteout's cool, but listening to the crowd, and I think the concept is cool. Like listening to the crowd versus even Alabama, Georgia. It sounded like, and this could be the microphone, it sounded like the Alabama, Georgia crowd was more hype. And that may just be the game.
Up audio for
I don't know. Maybe ABC has an interest.
Oh, ESPN has direct. They have like direct interest in the SEC, and they ESPN pumps audio a lot.
Yeah, I think the crowd was better. Now, again, okay.
No.
Okay.
The whiteout is one of the hardest places to play in the country.
Okay.
Like I said, I don't like State Penn. The whiteout's incredible, and when Mo Bamba starts playing, it is maybe the loudest a college football stadium gets.
Okay. I think maybe my dislike of the Big Ten bleeds into this some.
I mean,
yeah, but at the same time, I'm just like, I never come away from the whiteout being like, that's the best stadium of all time. I've been impressed, but
I wouldn't say stadium. I wouldn't say they have the best stadium of all time. I just think it's a crazy environment to play in. It's a very loud, passionate fan base that, this isn't a clip anyways, that support pedophiles.
Okay, here's the thing. And this is another thing I was thinking during the game. You can just mention Joe Pod, any of them, and it kind of destroys their whole argument, right? Like, they're like, oh, I love Penn. Like, Penn State's the best team. Like, don't you guys didn't you have a statue for a pedophile? Like, imagine Miami having a statue for Jeffrey Epstein. Like, yeah. It's just, yeah. Like, listen, I understand maybe one's worse than the other. One was just a football coach who did like the see no evil thing. The other guy's, Jeffrey Epstein. But at the same time, like, I mean, how much pedophilia are we talking until?
I mean, there's no such thing as good pedophilia.
Yeah, there's no such. I mean, yeah, there's no such thing as good. I'm talking about like Jeffrey Epstein did a lot of pedophilia, but Joe Pod turned his eyes from a lot of pedophilia. It's like, at what point are we kind of saying like, we're kind of at the same? There's only so much pedophilia. Like, you can be like, oh, like levels, if you know what I'm saying. Like,
I would say one pedophilia is too much pedophilia. So
I agree.
Once you're past that line, I think you're a piece of shit.
But like, if you do one pedophilia versus a guy who's like 100, you're like, well, the 100 guy's obviously more of a piece of shit than the.
we got to get off this real quick. This stays in though. This is funny.
Yeah. I mean, listen, Jerry Sandusky, obviously Jeffrey Epstein. We're talking same level. We'll have the Joe Pod discussion for another day.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm just saying that I see how our brains work. I see this. It start rolling. I'm like, this is going to get bad real quick.
Yeah, I have a whole I'm trying to do a whole thought. Like, there's an XY graph in my mind but I will say, I was like a Joe Pod, not defender. I'd be like, hey, how much do you know? And then I watched like it was in like like I was also 14 when this came out. Let's put that back in my mind. And then I like started learning about more. And then there was like an HBO documentary I watched one time. It's like, dude, this guy's a huge piece of shit.
Massive.
Like I was just like, oh, obviously Jerry Sandusky was hiding it from him. Like, oh, and it's like you learn more. You're like, oh no, he knew. This guy fucking knew. He's like, well, hey, have you seen his offensive schemes? Like, of course. So yeah, huge piece of shit, Joe Paul. I don't know if I can say that, but I'll say that to you afterwards. Last night on college football, Nussmeier's hurt, right? Like, he's definitely hurt.
Oh,
that guy, he can't throw the ball to save it. Like, he's he's pointing an Arch Manning, and that's hard to do. And Arch Manning's not hurt. He's just doing that for fun. But he just can't seem to throw the ball to a receiver without underthrowing it. LSU probably is a way better team. LSU maybe wins this game if Nussmeier clearly isn't hurt. So I don't know. I don't know if they're going to shut him down. I don't, Brian Kelly, not known for his management of people who are hurt, but
he killed a man.
Yeah, he killed a guy.
Oh, fuck. That's another thing we can't clip now. God damn it, Brian.
I mean,
stop mentioning murder and pedophiles.
I was going to say we can. It's not like, okay, I'm just gonna point this out. Let's say this. There was a something happened with the Clintons in Arkansas back in like the 80s where they definitely killed a guy or like helped kill a guy. It was like Whitewater, and then Norm Macdonald went on The View, and which is The View, and he was just like, yeah, like Bill Clinton killed a guy. And they're like, shut up! What are you talking about? No, and he's like, I thought it was public record that he killed a guy. Like, I thought we all knew about this. And that kind of feels the same with Brian Kelly. We're like, yeah, he killed a guy, right? We all know about this.
Oh, yeah.
LSU's just like, I don't know, how much is killing one guy that we know worth, however much buyout we're gonna have to pay at this point.
Okay, here's a question for every fan base. Would you accept a coach that's killed a guy for a national championship?
So here's the thing. I don't know if I can talk that much because we had Ken Briles join UH at one point, and this was hot off the press of the Baylor scandal. And it didn't really help the team, but UH fans called for I remember a couple of UH fans, including myself, were like, really, this guy, is he that good? We're like, we can excuse what happened at Baylor. he wasn't good enough to excuse what happened. I mean, don't excuse what happened to Baylor, but he also wasn't good enough to excuse what happened to Baylor. Now, here's the thing: what kind of murder are we talking about? If it's like a Ted Kennedy, where you hit a woman with your car, or you kill a woman and then drive the car off a cliff and you get out and you're fine. That's a little bit worse than like, you leave a guy outside for a while. Again, there are levels here. There are levels here. I can't be president now, but I never could have in the first place.
I don't think either one of us should be president.
I don't think either one of us should be president either. I deport guys after losing the Ryder Cup. But there's a level here. Like, I don't know. I think that's an interesting question you have to post. And I don't think I would, just because it's like the Osuna problem with the Astros, or every time you're like, oh, that guy is a piece of shit and I don't really like him. And like, he doesn't actually even at like a Chapman, like Aroldis Chapman. Let's go to that. Do you want Aroldis Chapman, like primarily Aroldis Chapman on your team? And the question is probably not, because like, sure, he can throw 103 mile per hour fastball. At the same time, he can throw a gun that fast at a woman as well. And so I don't really know. Like, it feels like you're enabling a piece of shit to be a piece of shit.
No, it's a common thing where it's like, all the drunk driving in Georgia and the NFL players that are women beaters. It's like, well, have you seen him in a 3-4 spread? Like, it's pretty damn good. Have
you seen him in the nickel coverage?
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Listen, it's a Cam Scatterbo problem where like, and I'm not saying he's a piece of shit. I'm saying like, you play enough ball and at some point your brain gets a little wobbly.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Like, you start doing some things. So that's a good question. You have to ask who the piece of shit is, and you have to ask kind of what they do. There's little levels. Like, there are people who have manslaughtered people before, but it's like, well, it was more of an accident. There's like a Brian Kelly where it's like, oh no, that guy's actually just a piece of shit who killed the guy. So I personally, I would not take Brian Kelly to win a national championship. I don't want Brian Kelly in general.
Nah,
all right. You want to go into happier things, which is the Texans?
Hey, we won a game.
They won a game. Woo!
Now, I don't think the Texans are good. No. I think the Titans are just bad.
Yeah, I think they're just ass. They're genuinely just ass. We rammed it in their ass, but they are ass nonetheless.
Look, I had some fun. I've got a couple Colts fans that I'm friends with, and I had some fun with them. And I sent a text message that said, we lost to the Rams by 5 and y'all lost to them by 7. Therefore, the Texans are the better team in the AFC South, and they did not like that shit. I was having fun with them and just kept on like trying to like justify how we're better. I was like, hey, you let the Titans score 20. We let them score 0. So, no, we're a bad team. We're bad, and we beat the shit out of the Titans, which should tell the Titans you're really bad.
It feels
if we win 5 games this year, I will be genuinely shocked with how this team looks. Now they could turn around. Maybe this is a turnaround point. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe week 13 we're fucking we take this back and we post it on another clip, being like, look at this idiot, and this is how we feel now. As it stands, 5 wins would be huge. I don't know. We struggled for that 26 points, man. Except for Woody Marks, who went 17 for 69 and a touchdown, and then 4 receptions for 50 and a touchdown.
He reminds me of Scatterbo in that he's one who puts body on the line. I know I brought him up earlier, but like he put his body on during that block where he's just like, this guy's bigger than me. He's coming down with me. And that's the kind of stuff I like to see from a running back. First of all, because we need blockers in general, and running backs apparently. Who was it? I remember who it was last week who just fucking could not block worth a shit. But Woody Marks, putting your body on the line for a quarterback.
I'm pretty sure it was.
It was okay. putting your body on the line for the quarterback, that's what I want to see. And also putting your body on the line with the ball, that's what I want to see it too. With all that said, this feels like a Panthers-Falcons situation where it's two, I can't say the word, but like it's the two people fighting, and obviously one person has to sadly win. And the Texans are the one who won this week. Now the Titans look like ass, and again, they are ass, but I don't know if us beating the ass team makes us not ass.
No, we're still ass.
We're still ass. Like, it's like, listen, the Panthers went and got destroyed by New England this week. And somehow the Falcons fucking won, but that's beside the point. Which means maybe the Titans win next week. It just felt like one of those games where it's not less of a get right game, less of a like a turning the page game, coming of age game, more of like someone has to win this game. And there are two not really good teams playing right now. And obviously one team is better than the other team. Titans are also just a bad team. That's what they get for getting rid of Will Levis. That's their own problem. That's their fault. But I watched the game and I was like, I mean, this is fine, but like, it's like watching UH play. Well, UH play like the bad teams they played, like Stephen F. Austin, where I'm like, yeah, they're winning, but like, does this really mean as much to me right now? Like, they are winning against Stephen F. Austin. It's like we're beating the Titans right now, who may be the worst team. I don't know if they're the worst team, but they may be.
Saints.
Yeah.
No, Saints covered this week. Saints covered the 15-point spread. The Titans did not cover their 3.5 points, 4.5 point spread.
I'm thinking the Titans and Saints are in like a who can be the worst team competition. And it seems like Titans after this week.
Miami's got to be up there too.
Miami, yeah, but they play
tonight. Oh, dude, listen, real quick, off topic. We'll get back to the Texans because I've got one more note. The Bengals Broncos I have no interest in. That's going to be a murder. Mm. The Jets Miami game might be a lot of fun. It might just be. It's just like I'm doing such a bad job explaining this. Two bad teams going at it is so fun.
Oh yeah,
but Justin Fields is back, so maybe the Jets won't be bad.
It's really fun when you have two bad teams who know they're bad teams playing each other, because then they're willing to try things. Like when a bad team plays a good team, it's like, well, they can try things, but like they're not going to get it done. Getting the Jets and Miami on the same field, which is already a crime against humanity in itself. That's like
twice a year, baby.
Yeah. That's like a Germany game right there, where we put it over there and like, this is your punishment. This is what you get for watching the NFL in Europe. They're willing to try things that they're not going to try against other teams, and it makes the game so much more entertaining. Like Iowa football, for a while there was electric football. Not because it was great football, but because they were winning off safeties. And I feel like this is the kind of game where we can get a win off a safety. So I'm excited for that. I will watch a game. I will consume that game as it is spiritually relayed to me, which is through the ass, because they're all ass. But it's going to be a fun game. Like, again, Broncos, Bengals, we know who's going to win that game probably. Unless the Broncos have like a falling out. Jets, Miami, honestly could go either way. It just depends who's the worst, the better worse, or the worse better, whichever one it is. Worse. The better worse. So yeah, I'm excited for that game. I will say that makes me think, what is the NFL right now as well? I said it's gonna be a crazy season. It feels like we're kind of doing that right now. I mean, again, the Falcons won. The Falcons lost 30-0 and then came back and won.
Hold on, before we get to that game, because I do want to talk about that game. Yeah. I got one last note on the Texans. Okay, and that's thank God CJ Stroud did not big brother Cam Ward, because he tried to big brother Caleb Williams. Let's have this talk. Which quarterback would you rather right now? CJ Stroud or Caleb Williams?
Now, I will say this. I've been a Caleb Williams fan and a Caleb Williams defender. With that said, I think right now, Caleb Williams is playing better than CJ Stroud. And I'm okay. Now, again, CJ, I still think, could be a top 5 quarterback. Could be. Let's put that in perspective. I said could. The word could. He is not correct currently. But I think if he built on that first year a lot more, at the same time, I kind of prefer Caleb Williams. And that's weird. That's weird to say from where even we were last year. We're like, well, it's just an off year. It's a sophomore slump. Now, again, I can be corrected in the next week or two. But at the same time, I'm a Caleb Williams defender.
Right now, the better player is Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Who is showing out better on the field right now is Caleb Williams. I'm still leaning towards CJ Stroud long term. hey, we're biased, okay?
My
But
bias.
also Caleb Williams, like it's double bias over here. But man, that big brother looks real shitty right now.
And it wasn't even like a good Big Brother look. It was just like use your mistakes and learn. It felt like a jujitsu practice where the guy afterwards is trying to give you life advice. And you're like, you work in a strip mall. Like, let's calm down on the giving me life advice. It's like Caleb. It was his second season. It was like, okay, let's calm down and giving Caleb Williams life advice after the first season.
It also felt like he chat GTP'd.
Oh,
like right before. What do you say to another quarterback after you beat them?
To be fair,
learn from your mistakes. You got this. I don't remember exactly what it was, but
I mean, the thing is,
you only have bad look, bro.
There's only so many types of quarterbacks. There's like the Jameis Winston, which is just a fun, jovial quarterback who just will say whatever they want. And then you have like the Aaron Rodgers, who's kind of weird and kind of a dick. And then you have like the CJ Stroud, and like I'm trying to think of others as well. And Baker Mayfield also falls in the Jameis category for the record, where they're just fun. CJ Stroud falls in like I think like a Phillip Rivers type category, where it's like there's not much behind the eyes. And I mean that like loving. I don't mean that to be an insult. I mean, like, you talk to them, you're like, oh, there's like not much going on up here. And that's like a good thing because you're locked in. But it's not like a Jameis where it's like, oh, he unlocks his childlike spirit, like Baker, where it's like, dude, he's going to grind on somebody on the sidelines. And that's cool. I like that. But there's not much. It's like, hey, brother, learn from next time. And it's like, okay, sure. That's what I was planning to do anyway. So I say that with love, but yeah, I think Caleb Williams is probably the one I take right now. I say that's a Caleb Williams liker.
Yeah, he's the better player right now, but long term, I'm still walking in CJ Stroud. That's all the Texans notes I have. I have a couple more football notes.
Hit me with them. Let's see.
They're real. I've got two left. Really.
Yeah, do it.
Chiefs are back. Holy shit. Everyone that was counting them dead, I'm laughing at you. This is why I said don't listen, man. Don't. They're not dead. They're off to a slow start. It happens.
Would you like to know my note? My note on this game is somehow Palpatine returned.
Our Star Wars reference of the week.
Yeah. Woo. By the way, I don't know.
Chewbacca noise there.
I don't know what the Chiefs were cooking up, but they were blitzing like they were showing blitz or blitzing like crazy, and the Ravens just could not figure out what in the world was going on with that.
Do you think he took himself out of the game, Lamar Jackson?
I wouldn't. I mean, maybe he had diarrhea again, but like I also wouldn't be surprised if he was like, "Listen, it's 37-20 right now, or 37 something right now. I'm not feeling it. Nothing's working. I can't read this defense. I've made a couple runs, but like I'm not doing anything crazy. Let me take myself out. This is not a winnable game. I'm not going to get hurt because the Chiefs are still going to blitz me because there are about 13 minutes left in the game. I would not be surprised if he went up to John and made a business, like John Mateer made a business decision. I would not be surprised if he went up to John Harbaugh and said, let's make a business decision real quickly and save myself for next week or the next time we meet the Chiefs. Because it wasn't even, I don't even think it was Lamar's fault fully. The defense was just locked down. He could not read the defense. They could not get like, the offensive line of the Ravens looked like the Bengals offensive line for Joe Burrow, where it's like, oh no, they don't care about him at all. So I don't know what happened, but it was not a good look.
And then my only other note is Packers Cowboys was fun as hell. That was a fun game. Mm-hmm. That's why you take overs. Holy shit, 40-40. What a wonderful fun game. The last quarter, I'll just say the whole fourth quarter was so much fun. Listen, they tied, and if it was possible, the Cowboys won the tie and the Packers lost the tie. Does that make any sense?
No, it makes it. Yeah, they look better. I don't think anyone thought the Cowboys were winning that game, and coming out of the tie was like, oh, they fought that game. I will say one thing, Brian, and it was a good fourth quarter and a fun overtime. I don't think we should allow Sunday Night Football to end in ties, because now I feel like a limp dick going into Monday, where I'm like, oh, like, like it just doesn't feel right. Like, listen, if I watch soccer on Sunday morning, I'm okay with a tie. I'm like, yeah, cool, that's cool. I got a whole day in front of me, but it just felt like,
yeah, I can see that.
Like, just change the rules. So, like, I'm okay with the overtime rules as they are for the regular season right now. but like change it for Sunday Night Football or like Monday Night Football. If it's the 3 o'clock game on a Sunday or 4 o'clock game, like do whatever you want. You can end in the tie in the third quarter. I'm okay with that. But for Sunday Night Football, I need a little spark in me. I need to have a little pump going into give me like some pre-workout going into the work week where I'd be like, I have something to talk about with people. I'm like my boss, but now it's like, oh, like it was a good game. It was a tie. Like, it feels gross. So yeah, I that's my hot take for the week on that.
That's all my NFL notes.
I have a couple more notes. One of which is, oh no, cold ass white boy team, referring to the New York Giants, because we got Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart beat the Chargers, and then you have Scatterboo just with the fun CTE going on right there. I love it. I don't know if you saw the post game. Jackson Dart's like, yes. Yeah, and like Scatterboo comes in and just starts rambling. I don't really know what he said, but I'm happy he did it. It's like when you look at like a 2-year-old starts babbling, and you're like, yeah, totally, good for you, yeah, I like that. Oh, funny. It's like I imagine that's every time he talks in the locker room. Everyone's like, yeah, just run the ball again. Good for you, buddy. Good for you, buddy. Can you keep running the ball? I know you're like, I feel like he's shorter, but I don't know if he's actually shorter. I feel like he's like a 5'7" guy who just will kill you. And I love that. Other thing, Malik Neighbors.
Ouch.
Ouch. I laugh because, Brian, do you know where the World Cup final is?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, not MetLife?
No, I said MetLife. And so
the world is going to hate us.
Well, I remember.
More than they already do.
Well, we're
going to give them another reason.
Well, that's like whenever it was announced that MetLife was at the stadium that the World Cup final was going to be, everyone's like, really? Like, our athletes go there and get taken down by the field. We don't want like the best in the world. There's billions of people watching. There's going to be at least 1 to 2 ACL tears that game because they're not going to be. They don't play on the turf there. Like they play on real grass usually for every other game they've ever played in, and they're coming with like the worst turf. Like turf is already bad as it is if you don't play on turf. But for some reason, MetLife is just like a special kind of evil. It's because that mob boss is buried under there or whatever. But it's not, I am worried for like the safety of the players playing there because it's not going to end well. Because there are guys who play there half their games there who tear their ACLs like Malik Neighbors, and now you have guys coming in there who don't ever practice on turf, don't play on turf. And I was like, oh yeah, play on turf, and like your foot. I think who was it? There was some guy recently who said like your foot or your body like learns to play on certain fields, and turf is just if you don't play on turf, you don't know turf.
That's what they think happened to Najee Harris, where his Achilles exploded.
Yeah.
Because they were like, his body is used to pushing off of grass, and you put him on turf and it doesn't compensate and pop.
Yeah. So I worry for the World Cup final. I wish we could change it. I like anywhere else. Give it to AT&T Stadium. Honestly, I think AT&T Stadium or Mercedes-Benz is a better choice in general, but I think they chose New York
Stadium, dude.
Yeah. I think, I think also because Atlanta is it's a huge hub, so it'd be easier for, I don't know. I just think Meadowlands was chosen because of the fact it's in New York. And they imagine all those blimps, like looking at the New York
skyline. It's in New Jersey.
Yeah, it is. So it's the Statue of Liberty, as we know. But I imagine like it was chosen there because like it's in New Jersey, but like New York's right there. It's an easy hub, and I wish it was anywhere else. Give it to Levi Stadium even. I don't think Levi Stadium's a great choice, but give it to Levi Stadium even. Last thing, Bucks Eagles, just quick, the 65-yard field goal, which is the farthest indoor or outdoor field goal of all time. They changed the rules, I think, this year where the kickers' balls get to get warmed up the day before instead of like an hour before. At what point, like, are we going to start? I know it's going to inch back, like, we'll get like 66 yard, 67 yard, 68 yard, so on and so on and so on. But like, at one point, are we going to be kicking from like what point is a touchback going to be worth a field goal, basically? And I don't know when that'll happen. It's probably 20, 30 years in the future, but it feels like it's going to happen at some point. And I'm excited for it.
I feel like the first 70-yard field goal is going to get kicked in the next 5 years.
I'll give it 10 years. I feel like 70 is like, is that on the opposing 40? It's on
40? The opposite 40.
Yeah, opposite 40.
No, it's on the opposite.
Because
back. It's
65.
on the It's on the 43.
It's about the
43 because then he goes back 7 yards.
Yeah.
Kick up for 60. Yeah. So it'd be opposite 43.
Yeah. Because I think the one yesterday was like opposite 45 or something like that. So I think it just depends on where the holder is.
No, opposite 47.
Yeah,
opposite 47.
Yeah, because it's. But then you have the thing is the kicker.
Because it's 7 yards back, and that would be on the 40, and then it goes yeah.
But then you think about like the holder's back as well. I don't know. So it's
7
like
yards back.
It's officially
from snap to hold. It's 7 yards.
Yeah. It's officially that, but also at the same time, it's like. With all that said, I do wonder. I think in the next 10 years we'll get because kickers are getting better too. We're getting. I mean, Brandon Aubrey's out there like killing every week because he's a soccer player. So I wonder what point we'll get. Yeah. Shout out Dustin Hopkins. Those are all my notes for this week.
Hold on, we gotta talk about it. We're not getting out. We're not getting out of it. We have to talk about it because we're gonna have to clip this.
Okay.
All right. The Astros are dead. They are dead. The Astros' reign is over. It's going to be a weird October not having playoff baseball to watch for us. We're going to watch playoff baseball, but the Astros aren't in it. Did you know Christian Walker led us in home runs, RBIs, and strikeouts?
That's a true outcomes player right there. That's what I like to see. Thank you, Christian Walker, for that one. You're the Aaron Judge of the Astros, so that's cool to hear.
Minus about 30 home runs.
Oh yeah, mine is like a lot. Mine is a lot, but that's actually hilarious to see.
And then the health of the team costed everything. That's the only note I really have.
When we were playing as the AAA Astros there for about a month, like 3 weeks. Can I say something somewhat controversial? Maybe I'll get a little flack for this, but I'm going to say it nonetheless.
Okay.
I'm kind of happy that I get to watch postseason baseball because the last postseason baseball I really watched, I think, was 2016, where like I had nothing invested in it.
Oh, you mean as a bystander?
As a bystander, I had nothing invested in it.
Oh, I was like you weren't watching the Astros runs, dude.
I mean, which is funny because we watched together on multiple occasions.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. What?
Yeah, but it's the first of the year. It's 2016 where like I haven't had a personal invested interest in who wins, and like. As much as I love the Astros,
I have a lot of preferences.
I have biases, but like, I don't want the Yankees to win. I don't want the Dodgers to win. But like at the end of the day, I'm like, well, I'm going to see other baseball as well. Listen, even the World Series last year, I enjoyed the World Series last year. Freddie Freeman's home run, walk-off grand slam.
That was awesome.
Awesome.
I hate those two teams, obviously, but it was awesome.
But like one of my defining memories in the past year, it was watching Game 7 as I was trying to write a paper from college for the Cubs and Indians. And I was like, this is the best experience of my life right now. It was so much fun. And as much as I love the Astros, they were not good this year. They just weren't as good as they could be. And it was a wild card exit. And then you kind of like feel that down, like, oh, that could have been us if a couple things got our way. Now it's like, I feel no remorse going into the World Series. Now I can just be like, oh, the teams that I am watching, I have no personally like vested interest in, how they played against the Astros. I'm excited because this is the first time in years I get to be like, I'm basically a drug-free World Series for me, or drug-free postseason. Where I'm not constantly like worrying about like, oh my God, Christian Javier, what are you doing? Worried about our bullpen, where I'm not having to worry about like the Astros batting because it always goes down as we ramp up into the World Series more. It always goes down more. So I'm just, I like, again, I love the Astros, but there's a point where the highs get so high, you're like, I kind of want to low again. And this is a nice lull, especially after this year of the Astros, where it's like,
yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Just sucked.
Did you really want to see this iteration of the Astros get its ass beat in the playoffs?
No.
Last year we lost to the fucking Detroit. Detroit in the wild card. We got swept 2-0. I've got my preferences real quick if you want them.
Okay, go. Hit me with it.
Tigers, Blue Jays, Reds, Padres, or Brewers. Anyone else can go fuck themselves.
I'm a big Brewers guy this year. I like the Brewers a lot.
Phillies would be okay too.
I also like the Tigers because of AJ Hinch. I'd like him to get his piece back. But the Astros, last thing, Astros do feel like Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson this year, where it's like Mike Tyson, it's way too over the hill. Something's off. He's too old to be doing this. The Astros were too hurt, too disorganized, too scattered to be. I almost said scatter to be doing that.
No, that plays.
Yeah. So it is not that I'm happy the Astros lost. It's that I'm glad we don't have to watch this iteration the Astros lose.
You know what? I kind of understand that. I don't really want to see this Notre Dame defense get embarrassed in national television in the college football playoffs.
Yeah.
Now, if the defense over the next several weeks rounds together, it's a different story. But right now, as it is, now they did pretty good against Arkansas, who has a good defense. But I totally get it. Like after we lost to A&M off giving up 41 points, I was like, you know what? If we don't make the playoffs, not getting our ass kicked national doesn't sound that bad, and I could just sit back and watch the college football playoffs with no emotional bias, and I can just have fun with it. So maybe there's some logic there.
Yeah. It's like, listen, maybe this is me because I watched a national championship last year with my team in it. I watched UH versus Florida, and I was at UH.
We went 0-2, bro.
Yeah.
We both had a national championship shot, and we both lost.
And it was this one. That was a bad one because it came down to the last possession on that one. But it's like maybe I'm a little burned out right now on wanting to watch my team in the playoffs. Maybe that's just me. But like at some point, it's
suffering from success.
Yeah, suffering from success. It's like college football. It was fun to watch college football without any needs. And now I don't need to be such a weird way to say that. I'm not gonna say that. I was gonna say I don't need to be serviced. Like I don't need to be. I know that's why I stopped. But I don't need to feel things other than this is good baseball, and that's kind of what I want to. I've been missing that in the postseason for a while. So now I'm kind of happy this year. I could be like, I can watch these games as like with virgin eyes in some sense. So that's my thoughts on the Astros. And it's not like maybe the most fun thing, but I've also been thinking the dynasty was dead since last year. So we'll see if next year Jim Crane makes any changes. I don't expect
he better.
To, but
I think missing the playoffs might actually wake him the fuck up because he's been spoiled, just like we have.
Yeah,
I think this might wake him the fuck up.
When did what's his name? The old owner. I'm going to call him Jim McInville, but that's Mattress Mac. Whoever the last owner was, he sold like, it wasn't too long after Jim Crane got the Astros that they started making the playoffs pretty consistently. So he is in a way blinded by his own success. And like Luno shouldn't have left and all that. I mean, he should come back. And I don't particularly love Drayton McClain. Yeah. When did he sell it is the question. I think it was
2011.
Yeah, because that's when the Astros switched to the AL because that's what they wanted.
That was part of the deal.
Part of the deal. So, yeah, no, I do hope this makes some changes. I don't expect it to. I think he's kind of stuck in his ways. It seems with the Dana Brown, Jeff Bagwell partnership. But I'm willing to be wrong. With all that said, postseason baseball, one of the best. Fun. Yeah. It's one of the best postseasons, if not the best.
And the Moonstamp cast will get shorter because we won't have to report on the Astros every single week.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good for us. With small victories.
We're 0 for 3 on this new format.
Yeah, which is honestly kind of good. Maybe one day we'll have success when we're bigger. Brian, where can the people find you?
You can find me across all social media at Auric Polaris, AURICPOLARIS. I am streaming some Elden Ring this week. Might stream some Pico Park. We'll see. Jordan, where can the people find you?
Find me as Jordan's Thoughts on Twitter, and find me across Moonstamp on all platforms: Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and another one. Maybe Facebook. I'm missing. I'm posting there a lot more. I'm hoping that everyone forgets Facebook. I'm posting there a lot more, so you'll see more content, like weird content. So thank you so much for listening. Please like, share, subscribe, rate, whatever you can do wherever you're listening, and we'll see you on Friday.